talk about Eagles or the Eagles. They can't decide whether it's Eagles or the Eagles.
I think any of us can.
Even in their own marketing, they seem to mix that one up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being told off by people in the past. I think you'll find it's just Eagles.
Is it?
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No. It
Fine.
seemed consistently. Yeah. They do seem to use just Eagles, but in their marketing they also use the Eagles from time to time. So yeah, I saw that Eagles. I think it was literally on this page where they use. Oh, there we go. Eagles and the Eagles.
Hi.
So yeah, Eagles. They are doing a world tour. VIP packages. This goes in line with our Guns N' Roses VIP experience,
Which is also a great segue for the next point.
Now this might actually be worse than the Guns N' Roses VIP package.
Yeah.
For the VIP Eagles front row VIP package, we'll come to the price. What you get for that is a front row reserved floor ticket, see map for exact location, distributed on the day of the show. 1 entry to the Eagles. They've just gone with Eagles there. 1 entry to Eagles pre-show VIP lounge, which includes VIP priority check-in, a raffle for Eagles tour items,
Beautiful.
a photo booth to commemorate your night, crowd-free merchandise shopping,
That's what I want.
exclusive cash bars for Eagle VIPs,
Beautiful.
an exclusive Eagles VIP gift bag, a commemorative Eagles VIP laminate and lanyard, a commemorative Eagles VIP ticket, and on-site VIP staff.
Unbelievable. And all for the paltry
Don't
sum.
do the price yet.
No, I was leaving it to you for the reveal.
No, don't do the price yet.
Oh, okay, right, sorry.
So in summary, what you're getting there is front row and a place where you can hang out and spend more money. Yeah?
With fellow plebs who have spent more money.
It says that you get a VIP gift bag. Tell us what's in the gift bag. You know, is there a T-shirt in there?
No, you're just getting a gift bag. There's nothing in it. That's where you put your merch.
Yeah, well, the merch that we want you to buy.
What they've done is people are going to think they're getting things for this, but essentially what we're doing is we're not charging them 5 pence for a carrier bag. So there's a Scottish law, by the way, for people that don't get it. Like, the government brought in this strange law that you pay 5 pence for a bag, and it helps pay for recycling and less using plastic, etc. But it's a big bone of contention with really tight-fisted Scottish people that don't pay 5 pence when they go to Tesco.
Really tight-fisted Scottish people?
Yeah.
You mean Scottish people?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, yes.
But what we can conclude from that is this VIP gift bag, it can't include a T-shirt, can it? Or you would say including exclusive VIP T-shirt.
You would think if there was something that was worth talking about in the VIP bag, it would be mentioned what the VIP stuff's going to be. I mean, they go to the effort of saying that you're getting a commemorative VIP ticket. I'm paying for a VIP ticket. Of course it's commemorative, you fucking idiot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get a laminate lanyard where it says VIP on it, and it'll have a lanyard that won't actually say anything on it. It'll just be a bit of fucking plastic that goes around my neck.
Yeah, I'm going down to Monuments in Glasgow and taking you down with me, assuming you're off. And I bought VIP for that. And as soon as I did, Brown was like, you know, I could just put you on the guest list. I was like, I think you're missing the point. Like, I'm not buying the VIP to put the money in your pocket. Cool, I'm happy that some money's going in your pocket. But the reason I'm going down for the VIP thing is I appreciate that you could get me in to watch the sound check and stuff like that, but there's a VIP T-shirt.
No, don't lie. You wanted crowd-free merchandise shopping.
It's you know what, they are doing that, but I think they also give you like a 10 or 20% discount on all of your on any merch you buy, which again is a nice touch.
That's a nice little nod, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I don't really care for that. I probably will buy some merch, but the reason I bought VIP is because I wanted the VIP Monuments Tour T-shirt.
Yes.
It's a collector's item to me, at least.
It's a nice little memory.
So why are Eagles not doing that? So yeah, you can buy all of this, front row ticket to a gig, and a place where you can hang out and spend more money.
Yep, an exclusive cash bar.
Yeah.
For Eagle VIPs.
Not a free bar, a cash bar at the SEC. I'll point out. So you're looking at what, £7 a pint or something like that.
Aye, and it's lukewarm piss.
Yes. You can get all of that.
It's a paltry sum for nothing.
For £618 plus booking fee.
Aye, so Ticketmaster are going to add an extra £300 on there, and that's before they put it to a resale site.
£618.
You think they would just round it up to 620? Yeah.
I want to go back to what's her face, Denise Ivanoff, and say you've got it terribly wrong. You've got it all wrong, love.
This only applies to some people.
Yeah, because that is taking the piss.
Just a little bit.
The Guns N' Roses one, you got more than that. The Guns N' Roses ones were too expensive, but you got to go on stage. You got to take your photo on the stage. You got to look at all their gear, and then someone that works on the show would answer all your questions and all of that.
You were getting stuff that was like priceless memories, at least.
There is no one involved with Eagles dealing with you on this.
No.
There's on-site VIP stuff. That's it. That's all you're getting.
So I think what this basically means is like, just what you've said. I mean, the photo booth for commemorative photos or whatever, I bet that's going to be like one of those cheap shit fucking booths you go in and it still costs you $5 to get the prints. Guarantee that would be free.
So the odd
also
thing is,
mental.
when I go through this and look at the other packages, that like the Eagle Silver package, this is £224. This includes a premium reserved ticket, so no info on where that is. We just used to call that buying a gig ticket back in the day.
Yep.
Apparently, if you have a seat that's worth sitting in, that makes you a VIP nowadays.
See map for exact location, distributed day of show.
Yeah.
So basically, they're going to give you a rough idea of what block you could be in, and then throw you wherever you turn up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just as an aside, Hayley got tickets for Kevin Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
The comedian.
Was that the other night?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good. She got them like 10 minutes after they went on sale because she was queuing, waiting to get them. We were in possibly the worst seats in the house. Possibly the worst seats in the house. There were only 4 rows behind us, maybe 5 rows of seats behind us. And that was what you could get by buying them as soon as they went on sale.
No, if you had scalped.
Yes, if you wanted to pay way over the odds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you'd bought 70 tickets and then just sold the rest.
Yeah.
And maybe you'd have got some good ones out yet. You never know.
Yeah. So
depends if Ticketmaster will let you in as an affiliate or not.
I saw someone got thrown out as well for taking a photo while he was on stage.
Fuck off.
Yeah, because they had lots of signs up and announcements beforehand saying this is a no filming show. Kevin's doing like 24 nights here, and we don't want any clips of it going online because we don't want to spoil the experience for people. We don't want any of the punchlines ruined, etc. Which kind of makes sense. And I said to Hayley when she was like, turn your phone off, they'll throw us out. I was like, babe, they're not going to throw anyone out if they look at Facebook on their phone while the gig's on. She was like, you don't know. And I was like, look, it says we may eject you from the theatre. I was like, that's not a contract that I entered into before I bought this ticket, so they can't throw me out for it. No, sure as hell I watched them throw someone out.
That's a tacit agreement, but one that they can choose to enforce, sadly.
Anyway, so this £224 thing, you don't get access to any of the
plus booking fees.
Plus
so it's £600.
You don't get access to any of the merch, the VIP crowd free merch shopping and all of that. So utterly shocking. Utterly shocking. I also noticed when I look at the lineup for the band, who's this 20-year-old kid?
Was this what I was telling you about earlier on? This is the lead singer's son. Who's taken over the reins for him and apparently sounds identical to him back in the Hotel California era. I mean, that's some good marketing if you ask me.
Yeah. Identical to him. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Is that Vince Gill in the band as well? Which, I mean, Vince Gill's awesome, but what are you doing playing in Eagles, mate?
No, it could be Eagles or the Eagles, they accept both.
Astonishing prices, mate. 600 and something, but just wow. Absolutely. And you know what? They're not even advertising it as a farewell tour. It's just world tour. I'm not saying you could justify it if it was a farewell tour, but I'd expect extortionate prices for a world tour. But this is implying that this is just a standard world tour for us. We're just going around the world, we're going to play some shows, and if you want the best seats in the house, you're going to have to pay £600 for them.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking. Yeah, so should we move on?
Let's do it.
I'll let you read the next one.
Which one are we doing next? Will we
that one
segueing?
We'll just make a little comment about it.
I thought we were going to segue into something else, but this will do fine. This is fine. This is. I think it was quite unexpected, to be honest. It brings up quite a few questions. I noticed in the metal community a bit, and people who know the band as to what actually happened. So Rob Flynn, out of nowhere, the lead singer from Machine Head, founding member as well, as far as I know. Pretty much put a video online. Was this last week? Maybe a few days ago. Pretty much just telling people Oh, that's the band done now, guys. We are basically considering this last tour we're doing as a farewell tour.
£600 tickets, buy them now.
I don't think they did that. I think they just decided they were on whatever gigs they were doing from now, and that would be it. That would be considered their farewell tour, which came as quite a surprise to people. The reason being Phil Demmel and Dave McLean, who are the drummer and guitarist, have decided they are leaving the band. No one really knows what the bad blood is, or if there is any, or the reason behind it. But Jesus Christ, it's completely unexpected. Doesn't particularly bother me. I've seen Machine Head. I'm not bothered by them. I think the last thing they did that I enjoyed was the Blackening. But it's just interesting to see what.
Is it just me, or in that picture does he kind of look like a slightly like 1/16 Latino Mike Portnoy? Carry on.
I see it. That's strange. Oh, funny you mentioned VIPs and upgrades. It actually says it underneath the video. Don't talk. Direct ticket links.
Oh, place your bets. Place your bets. How much? How much?
Let's have a look. I'll let
you know, my VIP ticket for Monuments was £40,
which is a very fair price.
Yeah, that's just if I wanted to get tickets for the gig, £20. So for an extra £20, I get to hang out with the band, watch sound check, get a T-shirt.
Right, general admission and VIP upgrades. Let's see what VIP is. Let's pick somewhere that's pretty big. I'm not seeing any. House of Blues, New Orleans. That's a fairly decent venue. Oh, platinum package. We'll read it out first before we say what the.
Yep.
So for your platinum VIP package, you get 1 general admission ticket, 1 soundcheck viewing, which is pretty good, meet and greet with the full band, group photo with the band, again, at least there's a personal touch there.
Yep.
An exclusive meet and greet t-shirt.
Yep.
Or shirt even, it says it might be a long sleeve, I don't know. A Machine Head flag, souvenir laminate with lanyard and early entry. All items are picked up to show the meet and greet, blah blah blah, and you can pick your shirt size, etc. $200.
I'm alright with that.
I think for a band of that size, it being a farewell tour, and you do get quite a few bits out of it.
Yeah,
$200 isn't like mega expensive.
That's a meet and greet with the band. Like Eagles don't bother with that. Guns N' Roses don't bother with that. For 5 times the money, they don't bother with that. The thing we've not kind of factored in is how much is the ticket on its own.
I would think the tickets will probably be $50-$60. That's my guess. $25 each. General admission.
Yeah, 25. So you're looking at $175. Well, they go up to 65. Platinum. Okay, platinum seating is $100.
Okay. I mean, you're only getting a general admission ticket for the price. So
on the VIP.
Yes.
Is that right?
Correct. Definitely is.
That seems a shame. You are right, yeah. Though having said that, because you're at the soundcheck, you'll be in the venue before the general audience come in, so you're going to be on the barrier. So, you know, it's, yeah. You're not going to have to queue up for 5 hours to get a good seat. $200, I mean, it's pricey, but if you love Machine Head, like there are definitely bands that I would pay $200 for that. Machine Head aren't one of them. But if I could get the same experience for, I was going to say Megadeth, but do I want to meet Dave Mustaine? Maybe just to call him a fanny to his face, that would be...
Barty and talk about God.
I know. But yeah, there are totally bands that I would drop $200 for a VIP thing, but I cannot think of a single band that I would drop £600-700 for.
No.
Even if Eagles were offering that, I wouldn't drop £700 for a ticket with meet and greet, group photo with the band, meet and greet shirt, £700 for Van Halen. I wouldn't drop that for.
No, I'm shocked at that one.
For Ozzy Osbourne, I wouldn't drop that for. There is no one.
What about Ozzy with Zakk Wylde?
No.
You're in a bit of cherished position though. You've met these guys.
No, but I can look at it and say, like, cool that there's more value for it. You are getting more value, but nothing in the world would make me part with £700 for that.
Yeah, I know. To meet a person.
Yeah.
To have an interaction with another human.
Yeah, absolutely shocking. I mean, Ozzy had some crazy expensive VIP things where you got to go into his dressing room at Download. Yeah, like £1,500.
$300. Give Ozzy a blowjob.
Yeah. So, well, he's not with Sharon anymore.
Not trying to insinuate in any way, shape, or form that Ozzy was selling his body for for sex acts. Yeah. Just putting it out there before I get sued.
He's really old, so it either wouldn't work or it wouldn't last very long.
No, I think he's...
Or it would last forever.
Nah, I think he's going to last forever. I mean, Lemmy died before him, and that motherfucker crashed a quad just a few years ago.
I meant sexually. I meant the act isn't going to last forever.
All right. Oh, no, not that. But you'd have so Joe.
Yeah, it's either not going to last very long, it won't work at all, or it will last forever. And that's harrowing.
Perpetual hard on. Sorry, anyway, so moving on.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. Again, shocking.
Fucking shocking, eh?
I don't even know where that's from.
It's the Lemmy.
Oh, yeah, of
short
course.
Sketches, the accent.
Yeah.
I tell you, last night your attitude was shocking, eh?
That's one of the beautiful things about living in and moving to Scotland. And I desperately want all of my friends around the world to get on board with this. You need to spend some time watching some Scottish comedy. You need to watch the Lemmy Show, and you need to watch Still Game. Not the last 2 seasons, because the last 2 seasons are dreadful. Burniston, yeah. But shocking.
If you thought Billy Connolly was funny at any point in your life, you'll probably enjoy other Scottish comedians, because they're not ripping him off, they're not tributing him, but there's a similar self-deprecating vein in all Scottish comedy. It's like we should just point the finger at ourselves and laugh because we do a lot of silly things.
So we're going to make fun of Slash
again.
Gibson.
Slash
and then
I was going to say Slash is the new Gibson, but it's also about Gibson and Slash.
Yeah. So Slash and Gibson debut a limited edition Brazilian Dream Les Paul.
Speaking of spending far too much money on something that's not worth it.
So you read it.
Sure thing. You might roll up or I'll go for there. Sorry. So Slash and Gibson Guitars have announced their newest collaboration, the Slash signed 1958 Les Paul Standard Brazilian Dream. The limited edition instrument is based on the guitarist's favourite historic specifications and appointments, with an added feature, a genuine solid Brazilian rosewood fingerboard. That thing that everybody was offering at standard prices before CITES. Okay. The inclusion of this highly coveted species of rosewood, which has not been widely available for over 50 years, helps to make the Brazilian Dream both an accurate replica of a golden era Les Paul and a collectible. Each Brazilian Dream is hand-signed and numbered by Slash and includes an exclusive green-lined, lift-and lacquered case and a variety of Slash collateral items. The run of guitars is limited to just 150 instruments. Explains Slash in the accompanying video, I've been working with Gibson for a lot of years now and have started to really sort of focus on Tobacco Sunburst 58s.
Oh, well, hang on a minute, Slash. I thought you really loved Firebirds. That was what you were telling us last week. And we're about to find out that there's a new guitar that you've never played before that you played mostly on your new album.
And that you love.
Yeah, sorry. Carry on, Mike. Carry on.
He continues. Different necks actually do sound different. Oh, so sorry, just to go back, you're talking about Firebirds. It wasn't even Gibson Firebirds. It was Epiphone Firebirds.
Yeah.
Specifically was what he wanted. So, sorry, I'll continue again. He continues. Different necks actually do sound different. The surface of the neck, what the wood is, can really affect the way guitar sounds. The reason why Brazilian rosewood was so popular is it just has a certain sound to it that's really nice. It's something you don't get that easily. I can tell you that much. Is this Donald Trump explaining guitars?
So that must mean that he has this on every single one of his guitars, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, okay, good.
But that is a Donald Trump explanation.
Yeah.
It's just so popular because it's certain sound and it's really nice. It's the best sound. Dick. The addition of the Brazilian rosewood just takes it over the top. It's a really amazing sounding guitar.
Here comes the punchline.
Specs for the Slash signed 1958 Les Paul Standard Brazilian Dream are below. For more information on the guitar, which has a list price of $12,999, go to Gibson.com. I mean, I know Gibson are obviously worried about bankruptcy and they're trying to make sure they're rescuing the brand, but trying to charge $13,000 for a guitar that someone who's endorsing it hasn't ever played, and none of his signature guitars that he's played in his history have ever had that spec that we know of. $13,000 fucking dollars
for a bit of Brazilian rosewood. And do you think Slash knows that the neck isn't made out of Brazilian rosewood? It's just the fingerboard, right, Slash? So you're sitting there and going, the neck shape and the wood, it helps it to sound really different.
It definitely doesn't. I mean, especially not when you are playing it through a lot of high gain at mega volumes.
I saw a video from Warmouth just last week. They uploaded a video of blind A/B testing necks with nickel steel frets, nickel silver or whatever it is, standard nickel frets, and stainless steel. And because it's warmer, you know, they basically built 2 necks that were identical, even cut from the same piece of wood.
So the only thing that was different
was different frets, and then they put them on the same body, and A/B tested them. And you know what? I could tell the difference.
Okay.
It was subtle. And I liked the fact that the guy that was doing the test said I could instantly feel the difference. But at the end, his conclusion was he was like, because we did them on 2 separate days, I didn't think there was as much difference as there was going to be when I listened back to them. I could feel the difference, but I didn't think I could necessarily hear the difference. But in an A/B setting, I could totally hear the difference. But then he came out with a kicker, which is through a loud amp, on a gig, in a band setting, in a mix, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Fact.
So, Slash, for you to be sat here saying not like the rosewood board, Brazilian rosewood board, it's not that the string even touches the rosewood. That's the piece of material that the fret is mounted into, for fuck's sake.
Such a cherished salesman, but a part of the winter. Like, you can't hear the difference. I mean, who am I to argue against Slash? He's been playing guitars for years. He's famous. He's well known. You can't hear the difference. What's wrong with you? So instantly you're on the back foot. You're the inferior part of this conversation. When the facts are, you can't tell the difference. Yeah. Fucking grow up.
$12,999.
Good job. I've got 2 credit cards that I can put that over.
Yeah. But fortunately, who was this interview with? So this is someone in the comment section of this interview, actually, before I do it, said, "Thanks for the Daily Slash article. Can't wait for tomorrow's." And then on this other one that we read, another Slash interview, best comment of all time. "Damn, was hoping to find out his favourite brand of toothpaste this day round. Maybe tomorrow's Daily Slash interview then." Because he's just everywhere at the moment. And I don't really know why. He's not even got anything to sell, well, aside from guitars.
Lots.
Yeah. It's not like he was doing this many interviews, you know, before Guns N' Roses went on tour.
No.
And if they are on tour, they've certainly not talked about it.
I think it's just a big fucking PR thing for Guns N' Roses being back together.
Yeah.
And he's just like, cool, people know my name again, so better fucking throw the Slash and Conspirators and Slash with Miles Kennedy.
Well, actually,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah,
they are. The Slash and Miles Kennedy are doing a tour, because I saw a poster for it when I went to see Joey Landreth. But yeah, anyway, here's your prime example of like the clickbaitiest of titles. So Ultimate Guitar went with Slash reveals he's now playing a guitar he's never used before. And the quote was, "It just has this great scream to it." And I joked, I was like, better fucking be a Firebird. Better be a Firebird. Nah. Talks about amps. He goes, what were your main guitars? Well, I used a 54 Gibson Les Paul Gold Top on a bunch of songs, and then I used my 58 Les Paul and also my Chris Derrick Les Paul, which is a replica. I also had a 58 reissue Tobacco Burst that I picked up from a dealer in London. Don't know why I'm putting on this weird accent. And that's basically it. For the acoustic stuff, I used my Martin D28, and I bought new back around the time of the 2012 Apocalyptic Love record. So nothing on there really jumps out to me as being like, holy shit, Slash is playing something new.
No, there's not a single thing when they're like, oh, Les Pauls?
Yeah.
I've never been known to play Les Pauls.
Yeah. So the interviewer came back with, "You're obviously a Les Paul guy, but I don't recall you using a 54 Gold Top in the past." And Slash came back with, "I've never used it before. Primarily, I used it for the song The Call of the Wild because the main riff is something that I thought might be a little too muddy with humbuckers." So that's it.
That quote continues.
And so,
sorry.
Be my guest.
"And so I said, well, maybe soap bars will do the trick. So I pulled out the Gold Top, and those pickups gave the riff a certain kind of clarity that was needed. And the guitar had such a great tone, I ended up using it a bunch on the record. I used it for Lost Inside the Girl. Never had that problem. I used it for The One You Love Is Gone. I've had that problem. I used it for a couple other songs as well. It just has this great scream to it. Oh my god, what a revelation. He's used soap bar pickups instead of humbuckers. The revelation being that if you put different pickups in a guitar, they tend to sound different. So when I released my signature Epiphone Firebird, let's just take out the Firebird pickups and put my signature Slash pickups in them. What is this guy smoking? Where can I get some? I think he's smoking the old corporate fucking joints. Yeah. Trying to make himself some mad money. And fair play to him, man. He's playing the game. But at the same time, you kind of need to stick to having one story if you're going to try and sell multiple products and make out they're all... at the same time, yeah. Like the best that you've got coming out. I've always wanted a Firebird with Epiphone. And I've always wanted a Brazilian Rosewood Les Paul. And
I know I didn't use either of these on my record. I found this other thing. So should we place our bets? The Slash 54 Les Paul Gold Top with soap bar pickups. When's that going to get announced?
And how much will it cost?
Yeah, $16,000 plus a slave child. Yeah. So cool. Last topic, and then we'll do album club.
Oh.
That'll be fun. I've put no thought into it still because I've been so impassioned in talking to you. But don't worry,
you'll find something. I've got an album for you. Don't you worry.
It'll come.
You probably won't like it, but you will. Like
no, I do have an album for you. Yes, there we go.
Oh, good. Yeah, but it better be fucking good.
It's a great album. So
you usually ask me that at the weekend, and you call me Dorothy.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. And I usually wear a glove for that because mess.
I don't.
That's been that. So, Boss.
Unveiling new Waza Craft versions of certain pedals.
Yeah, I just the term Waza Craft really annoys me. I don't know why. It's not an offensive word. It just sounds stupid.
It's like pedals that are known for being okay, not the best, but certainly will do the job, but robust. Having a specialist brand that makes them slightly better.
Yeah. Well, by all accounts, the Waza Craft stuff is usually pretty good.
Yeah. I don't mean it's bad, but I'm saying it's slightly better, but Boss aren't really known as super boutique.
Yeah, I think it's the presentation when they go with the Waza Craft stuff, because if you get like an analog man pedal or a Keeley modded pedal, they don't re-enclose the pedals. What they were doing is they were just sending you back your Boss pedal, but with a section cut out of the footprint bit like that, and they'd put their logo in it. So when I look at these just look like boutique modified Boss pedals. Yeah. And when I see things like that, I think what everyone else thinks, which is, oh, thank fuck it's not a Boss.
But it is.
Yeah, but these actually are. So yeah, you wanted to talk about the Metal Zone, right? The classic.
Let's be quite honest. I said, I can't believe they fucking brought it back out, and you're like, wait a wee minute.
Yeah.
Wait a fucking minute. Have you seen this? And I was like, right, no, I haven't. So, do you want to tell them?
I think your approach to the Metal Zone is exactly my approach to the Metal Zone. Like, it's a running joke of a pedal. Like,
it's a fucking doorstop.
It's an abomination of a pedal. You plug it into the front of an amp and it just sounds like an angry wasp in a jar. Like,
I think that they serve a purpose, and that purpose is to have the most oversaturated, horrendous gain tone you can get. They're great for the kind of music I'm into, or at least the music I play along. Like, a lot of brutal death metal bands probably use Metal Zone still as part of their gain structure for building, or even just driving amps harder or whatever.
Yep.
But effectively using one for clarity isn't well known.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's like
they are an accepted joke on the guitar scene, the Metal Zone pedal. But the thing
a Waza Craft version definitely piqued my interest when I'm like, how do you polish a turd?
Yeah.
Have they sprinkled it with fucking glitter? Have they painted it with fucking...
Now, I don't know if they decided to release this Waza Craft version of the pedal just because we're going to do it with all of our pedals, or because there's been a bit of a resurgence in the popularity of the Metal Zone. Now, there has been a resurgence of the popularity of the Metal Zone, and I'm going to credit the correct person for this. It was Drusif Stalin.
Also Drusif Reynolds on his Facebook these days, as he's known. And those of you who don't really know Drusif, he's pretty much an internet OG and live guitarist who kind of came with the I don't want to say the rise of gent, but that kind of subculture of new wave internet guitarists. Very talented guy, great songwriter, a lot of good content. Likes to shitpost quite a bit.
Did a wonderful video with your brother.
Did. Yeah. Both of them sung beautifully. Drusif's guitar solo in that video was incredible. You need to wait for it.
Yeah. Haley watched it, loved it. So it was Drusif. Drusif put up a video of him playing with a Metal Zone, and the caption was along the lines of, "Holy shit, guys, have you ever plugged a Boss Metal Zone into the effects loop of your amp?" And it sounded absolutely brutal. And then all of a sudden, all of the YouTube guys are suddenly like, "Oh, look, have you guys ever tried plugging the Metal Zone into the effects loop of the amp?" As far as I can find, I believe it was Drusif that did it first. And there are some guys doing great videos of it. Of course, we both are a fan of Ola England's channel, aren't we? He can make just about anything sound pretty good. He's got a good video of him doing exactly that. So essentially,
he's always got good videos.
yeah, you're bypassing the preamp stage of your amp and going straight into your power amp
and using the Metal Zone as the preamp.
As a preamp, yeah. It seems that it's night and day. It seems that if you plug this into the front of your amp, it sounds like ass. If you plug it in the effects loop, generally speaking, it sounds pretty good.
Excuse me.
And the thing that shocks me about that is either that's by accident, Boss didn't know that, or that was the design from that, the intended design from the get-go. And after 20, 30 years, however long that pedal's been, I don't even know when the original was made.
I think they were 80s. I'm pretty sure 80s and 90s in Metal Zones.
At no point has Boss come forward and said, excuse me, have you tried reading the instruction manual and plugging it into the effects loop of your amp? Maybe that is in the manual. Maybe that's how Joseph Stalin made this realization. But yeah, so they sound pretty brutal in the effects loop of your amp. So it's very interesting that they're now bringing out a Waza Craft version of it. Ola England has done a video playing through with the new Waza Craft one. Yeah, sounds good.
So there's a bit of content for people to go and have a look at. So Ola's is a great video to start with. Try and find some of Joseph's content. Definitely support both of those guys and the other guys on YouTube who are talking about the pedal. Also worth looking up the Dimension C. This is the reason I mentioned it to Levi actually, and we got sidetracked on the Metal Zone part, and both of us were like, that's such a fucking cool thing. But the Dimension C as a pedal is fucking weird, but very cool. It's like a weird chorus phaser. Doesn't make sense, but sounds fucking good pedal. Go and have a listen to some of the fucking the ideas of it. To me, when it was on, it sounded a bit like where the Strymon and stuff had taken inspiration,
right? In
terms of like just weird augmented sound effects. I don't know how else to describe it. Go and have a listen, see what you think. Maybe I'm talking utter shit, but I thought it sounded cool as fuck, and I was kind of like, it's good to see that if that's something Boss did originally, they're bringing it back out.
I like the marketing speed that they've gone with though. Cult chorus favourite and divisive distortion pedal. Go Boutique. Is it a cult chorus favourite? Until they announced the Waza Craft, I'll be honest, I'd never seen it.
I'd never seen one either, and they talk about it being long discontinued.
Yeah. But
I assume that would be the people who are in the know that these are super desirable. I've never even seen one for sale.
Yeah.
And you'll be the same as me. You can't help yourself but look on Gumtree and fucking eBay and the buy and sell pages and
cash generators. If we could hurry up and do chances answers, that would be most appreciated.
I know. It'll come.
It won't.
It won't. I don't want to be harassing people. I mean, I do, but all I'm basically doing is publicising the fact that I'm an asshole and expecting retribution.
Do you mean a guitar soul?
A guitar soul.
Yeah.
But I don't want...
You need to start wearing this moniker with pride.
I do. But I don't want to have someone at my front door trying to beat me up because I decided to make an example of their stupid pricing.
You meant to make fun of them?
Yeah, of course I want to make fun of them, but I don't want the repercussions. All right?
Okay, fine.
I want to do the Brett Kavanaugh of being a wido world.
Yeah. All right, let's do Album Club.
Album Club. Okie dokie. So
I'll go first.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what I thought about
Go Rotted.
Go Rotted. I keep forgetting the band's name, but I can't. It's impossible to forget the name of the album. What is it again? Oh yeah, no, I kid. only Tools and Corpses,
which is fantastic.
Great name. I feel that.
How did you enjoy Zombie Graveyard Rape Bonanza?
Which is the first track.
Correct.
I even tried to make an effort with track listing this time.
Only for the fact the song titles are fucking silly.
Yeah. So it's a difficult. Musically, it didn't upset me. I thought there were a lot of moments that I thought were really cool. I thought the production was quite good. It certainly didn't have that kind of basement production that I expect from just about everything you listen to. It's the brutal production. The thing, it's no surprise. Vocally, I'm not going to say appreciate. I'm not going to say can't enjoy. But yeah, I find it difficult to plough too much time into vocals like that.
Very much an acquired taste, and I get that.
But credit where credit is due. The thing that I did like about it was the dual vocal thing. From the moment that first track kicks off, you've got two singers, one doing the brutal, guttural, pig squealy, deep. I don't know how you describe it because it's not
like gutturals and kind of pig squeals. I think it goes along those lines.
And then there's parts where you've got the two together.
Yep.
And I think they complement each other. It's not again, I don't listen to it and go, wow, that's such a great idea. Why haven't I done that on my records? But it was enough for me to go, that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
There's not many bands that have got two vocalists who blend it that way.
Yeah. So I'll give it that. I think the disappointing part is it's probably the type of thing that, I don't know, maybe this is localized, maybe it's not, maybe I'm totally wrong on this, but of course it's a play on Only Fools and Horses, which is one of the great British comedies. Great British comedies. David Jason and Nicholas Lyndhurst. And then
What do you plonker?
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to go like old school with Grandpa, not so much, but I'm more like Uncle Albert, so Buster Merryfield. Absolutely love Only Fools and Horses. Grew up watching Only Fools and Horses. So yeah, I don't know if that's a thing in America. I don't know if they watch that. Generally speaking, if they're going to do that, they tend to remake the shows and ruin it. There was an American remake of Only Fools and Horses. I'm sure there was. Keep talking.
I hope there wasn't. No, I would think that Only Fools and Horses is a worldwide brand, even just for the logo or potentially the idea of the Yellow Reliant Robin. I would not think that there's a chance that this is not seen. There's a fucking US remake. Get to fuck.
I think there was just a pilot for it.
I hope so. Oh, it's so good. It didn't happen. Christopher Lloyd is Grandad. Jesus fuck. Rejected, thank fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, so there was 2 pilots made and they rejected both of them.
So yes, with Go Rotted being a British grind band, there's a lot of silliness in it, and there's obviously British influence as well, hence Only Tools and Corpses being the song title and the name of the EP, which is beautiful. But there's even better song titles than that. I mean, let's not forget Masticated by the Spasticated, which is fucking outrageous. I mean, that's fucking madness.
Yeah, highlight is going to be that drum intro on Only Tools and Corpses.
Beautiful.
Because as soon as it starts, you just burst out laughing because you're like, it's Only Fools and Horses. I thought they were just going to play the Only Fools and Horses theme. I thought that would have been fantastic. But yeah, as soon as the drum finishes, it's then a punch in the throat. So
good. I saw a few bands who do things like that. We played with a band called Mincing Fury of Guttural Clamour and Queer Decay. A Czech band are known as Mincing Fury. Because to be fair, the guys were fucking unbelievable. We played with them at Grindfeast XL in Arnhem in the Netherlands, and they were just unbelievable for the minute they came on stage. Just tight as fuck. Strange how they managed to do it, but everything was fairly memorable and enjoyable, even though it's like blast beats and screams. Anyway, they finished their song and the guys are like, "Do you like Korn?" So they started playing the intro to Blind. But like perfect, including the bass drop bit, but it's obviously somebody hitting the mic on the recording up to the and it was just this big long growl then into their own song, and everybody was convinced they were doing the full song. It was so good, so good. There's some live footage of it, but that puts me in mind of the kind of thing that's on that album. And the drum beat's much shorter than the build up that Mincing Fury did. But I love that lulling you into a false insecurity, like wee bits in songs where there's like a slow down where you think it's just going to start getting calm and it just becomes insanity again. Love it.
I don't think I'm ever going to come around to it, but that's
your cuppa.
So yeah, there you go.
Beautiful, thank you.
How did you get on with your favourite band?
Truthfully, and this was me trying to be as objective as possible, like I really struggled to listen to the full album. I didn't manage to get through it in one listen all at once, like really struggled for like a multitude of reasons, and I wanted to be as open-minded as possible. I had it playing in the car a few times. Nancy knows the album quite well and was singing along to some of the tracks, so I had it at a decent volume. I didn't hate it, if I'm honest, but there are so many things in it that I dislike that there's no way I could listen to it and think, oh, I might put that on again, or that was memorable. Like, I didn't think the songs were catching me in any way, except the parts where I was like, that was fucking cringy, or I didn't like that, or that was bad. It was the things that caught me were the things I didn't want to happen. If you know what I mean? Like that sounds really overly critical and horrible, and I know I'm going to be biased, at least to the degree that to the degree that when I mentioned you even giving me it, I was like, you are fucking joking. But I did try to put that aside and be like, okay, it can't be as bad as I've put it in my mind. Maybe I just hate it biased because I know how bad I've thought of them for years, and the things I've seen about them when they first got quite popular, I watched videos of them playing and they were fucking terrible and things I wasn't into. And but honestly, man, all my fears were confirmed when I listened to it. Like,
that's not the rules though. The rules are, we didn't specify this, but we certainly did at the very start of Album Club.
You need to try and find things you like.
Super
as well,
objective. Finding something that you like. Finding things that you like about something you hate and things that you hate about something you love.
So let me just keep going then, because I've got quite a lot to say.
I was just worried that you were going to be like pan the whole thing.
No.
Because I want you to find one good thing to say about it. And I'm going to use that as a soundbite, and we're going to use that to promote you in all future.
Cool, that's fine. My favourite thing about the album is that it ended. Right, that's overly harsh. Right, I genuinely struggled with it. I told Levi this. The first couple of times I tried to listen to it, I think I got 5-6 tracks in and just had to switch it off. Like, I can't listen to any more of this without basically getting angry and being like, I can't believe this is what I need to listen to. And then when it came to the second half of the album, it was like 7-minute tracks and there was like 7 tracks left. I'm like, I need to dedicate an hour of my life to this at least once. So I listened to it as much as I could, and like sometimes it was in the car and a couple of times with headphones on, and did what I could. And I didn't hate all of it, but there were a lot of things that I found were detractors. I didn't think the songwriting was particularly terrible, but it wasn't great. It was the wicked end that you had said that justifies listening to the album. This 2-minute segment in the middle of the song is really good, in contrast to the rest of it, and when it obviously caught your attention when you were younger.
Yeah.
And to be fair to you, that bit where the orchestra comes in, it's pretty good, but it just felt like I was in a Tim Burton film, not in a good way. Like,
there's also, we put it on just before we started recording, there's that one sweep picking lick in the wicked end, which I think is actually really cool.
I think if I had to see the tab and work out what it was playing, I'd probably be like, alright, okay, that's quite clever, but it just sounds like he's sweep picking and adding extra notes that don't make sense.
I'll tab it out for you. You'll it's the sort of thing you'll learn, and you'll go, I'm going to work that into something that I do.
I'm never going to work that into a Party Cannon song, but I will, in the interest of fairness, if you tab it or find a tab of it, I will look at it and try and play it.
It's cool.
Because at least that way I can say he's not better than me. I mean, I know he's not, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Some of the dual line guitar parts were pretty cool. They weren't exciting. They weren't like majorly over the top, but they worked well. They served the purpose of the song, which is obviously meant to be like to keep the vibe going, and a wee nod to like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and that 2 lead guitars fighting each other, but like it's like obviously harmony. There was a lot of parts in it where I thought they had definitely tried to make interesting chord changes and make the kind of key changes and stuff a bit different. Not they were trying for it not to be like just pop metal, which I mean it is, but genuinely I felt as if sometimes they were picking chords and I was like, oh, that was quite a decent decision, but it all seemed to lead back to almost the same kind of shape for like a chord progression, not using chord numbers. It would be like maybe E minor into a C to an A minor to like an F major or an F sharp major to make it sound a wee bit different, or just wee daft things. But it was like, I'm not very good at theory, but I have a very good ear when it comes to picking things up and then like going like, oh, that's like that, so that I think it like this, and it's really hard to explain sometimes and sounded really big-headed when I said I've got a really good ear, but
no, because I always say you have a really good ear, and I transcribe for a living, so
I'm good at picking things up. Yeah. I can usually do it, and there's bits in it where I'm like, I can see what they're trying to do, and I really respect that, but I don't like how they've done it. But that's just me, because I'm like, I could think of ways that maybe I would think it would sound better, but that's just me. As I say, that's very much a personal thing. I thought the lyrical content was dog shit. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, at least you could hear the lyrics.
But did I want to hear all the time? No.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It was
I can't really think of any of the. Yeah.
It sounded like somebody was like pitch shifting 60 cycle hum constantly.
He's very whiny, very very whiny.
And it's a shame because, as I said to you, and even you were disagreeing. Like, there's probably potential in there that he could be an incredible vocalist. I've heard him on things where he doesn't sound bad, and it's obvious he's got quite a bit of power in his voice. But in those recordings,
he likes to push his range to places he shouldn't.
And it's very nasal, and I think that's his problem, because he can push his range and he can keep going and he gets to some good notes. Nearly.
Yeah, there's the problem.
but it's the Tony's voice that it cuts through me. It's just too much. And I think in the recording it doesn't help any either. And I think the guitars are much the same. Like a lot of the lead guitars don't seem to have any reverb or delay or anything on them. They're very dry, and it just sounds like somebody just cranked them up in the mix. And that lead guitar tone's like, I think it's a bit of a nod towards like Brian May, or maybe the guys from Judas Priest. A lot of like kind of extra treble in it, so it's like you can hear the pick attack, and you can definitely hear when they're playing the higher notes. There's almost like I don't really know how else to describe it than like if they did a pinch harmonic, it would come out fucking lethal, like really, really ice picky at the top end.
Yep.
And that's a cool thing when it's done right, but in the mix it didn't work right. Brian May got away with it because it was perfectly fitting for the music, and it was like that was meant to be like a new voicing for his guitar. This being the same lead tone for every single song, mixed with really bad note control and terrible vibrato, just cut the lugs off me. And there's bits in it where like I can hear what he's trying to do. He's trying to do the kind of Marty Friedman way of I'll play the wrong note but bend into the right one, or I'll bend for the right note into the wrong one and pick the next one, and just make it sound quite weird voiced and articulate and well thought, but it doesn't come across that way because the execution of the bends or the vibrato just doesn't match. And it might be something that it's been improved in later recordings, or I don't know, but it's not for me.
Okay.
Do you want me to keep going? Because there's more to talk about.
No, just give me what you got.
Okay. I thought the drumming on the album was pretty good, but the replacement samples were shit.
No, I meant give me your album that you want me to listen to.
Oh, sorry, right. So I'll just finish my verdict of Avenged Sevenfold. Not for me. Not for me. You can use that sound clip if you like. Not for me. Would sooner shit in my hands and clap.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that would make for a good video.
Well, if you let me edit one day and I fuck up, maybe that can be my version of getting slapped. A big oops.
I mean, I think that's going to be a wonder to deal with that loud clap next to the microphone. Thanks for that. Yeah, maybe we'll do a reaction video next time on the podcast.
Shitting.
And I'll just sit down and I'll be like, right, we're going to listen to City of Evil all the way through and live react to it. And you have an out at any time. You can go, right, okay, I'm going to shit in my hands and clap. Just stop.
I mean, before you press play, I'm probably going to have my trousers down.
Yeah, okay, what have you got for me?
Sorry. So, not quite the same vein as Go Rotted, but definitely of the... not even of the same vein of heaviness, but... See, this was a bit of a weird one. I was going to give you two to listen to back as a comparison, but I don't want to, because it's a lot of listening, and truthfully, I think there's not much point in you listening to the first idea I had. Right, anyway. My album for you is Sun Eater by Job for a Cowboy. Now, Job for a Cowboy...
Heard the name.
Yep. Earlier on, deathcore, big brie growl vocals. Like, Johnny Davey is a fucking monster vocalist. Not everybody's into him because he's a wee bit different, but he can pretty much do any range, and he's fucking silly. Like, I think he's incredible. But again, as I say, quite a subjective thing. Job for a Cowboy as a band... They had a few songs that were quite popular for silly things, like Entombment of a Machine. It's got this weird big fucking scream, followed by like a snare, a reversed in snare. Like you hear the reverb first, and the snare hits like a fucking shotgun. Or Knee Deep, which had the vocals knee deep, with loads of growls and shit. However, as the band went on, they started getting more kind of techy and progressive even. And then Sun Eater came out as an album, and I heard the first track on it, and I went, Jesus fucking Christ, this is outrageous. It's like, to me at least, I think it's a bit like Obscura or Necrophagist if they took a kind of more... Sorry, if Obscura's sense for melody was put in with Necrophagist's technicality, you'd get something like that. For some of the tracks at least. What I'm getting at is it's a heavy album. Some of the riffs are fucking incredible. There's some bits that, like the start of the album's quite weird and hard to get into until you've heard the rest of the context of the album. You might be really into it, you might not. It's almost like the same thing that Isan does with that big weird chords leading into a riff, and you can hear the chords over the top of the riff. Mm-hmm. They've been written after the riff to augment it, but they were like, we'll put that in first so that we lull you to a kind of false sense of security.
Right.
But some of the guitar work on the album is outrageous. Some of the drumming is outrageous. The bass is so prominent in the mix. And the bass playing is sometimes even fucking more extravagant than the guitars. And I mean, like, ridiculous. but it doesn't feel laboured. It feels like everything's been written together, almost like an orchestra or a symphony, and the idea being that everything's got its own place, especially like the prevalence of the bass in it. Vocals are outrageous, and the highlight for me at least is the lead guitar in it. Some of the fucking solos are unbelievable, and it's the control in them. They're not doing anything that's like majorly over the top, no one's ever done before, like revolutionary, to be honest, but it's just, there's some really tasteful shredding on the album, over the top of heavy as fuck riffs that probably shouldn't have them over it, and some cool licks. As I say, might not be your cup of man. The vocals are very, very heavy, like heavy, but
well, I mean, evidently I do like some heavy vocals because Meshuggah are my favourite band right now, so just constantly.
Jen's just shouting.
I've still not taken nothing out of my car.
Understandable.
Nothing just lives in my car now.
Beautiful album.
Can't remember what track 3 is called on it, but it's constant repeat.
How does it start? Sing it.
No.
No. You nearly done it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, love it. So for clarification then, is this one that I'm listening to because I'll enjoy it, or are you trying to punish me?
No, I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay,
genuinely. Like, I don't know if you like the vocals. As I said, I know it's quite a... He has an acquired taste as a vocalist. I think he's fucking incredible, but I've heard a couple of projects that he's on that I've really enjoyed. On this album, it's not just completely indecipherable like fucking death growls, but he's known to do really low vocals and be really fast with some phrases. There's some bits that are quite well audible and some bits that he's just too fast for it, but he's really well enunciated. But I think you'll appreciate the riffs, the guitar work. Some of the drumming is phenomenal, and the fact that the bass is just like shredding along with the guitar.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for something completely different then.
Well, here we go, a fucking country album or something.
No. I appeared on Jens Larsson's YouTube channel just recently.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me to do a collaboration with him and a bunch of other guys like Ben Eller and Rick Beato and some popular YouTubers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the question he asked me was, the hard part is you've got 1 minute. Like I want you to answer this on video in a minute.
Just dropped in the hot seat.
Yeah, being to the point is not my strong point. So I instantly knew what I was going to pick. The question is, what's your favourite jazz guitar album?
Oh.
And why?
Okay.
So I had a minute to tell him. And I'm going to give you the same basic pitch that I gave him in a minute. And then I'll expand upon it a little bit because, why not? So my favourite jazz guitar album, 15 years after hearing it for the first time, is Joe Pass's Virtuoso No. 2.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being maybe 15 and seeing Joe Pass do a performance thing on the end of a Frank Gambale instructional video, and I was like, this is pretty cool. So I checked out who he was and saw that he had albums called Virtuoso 1, Virtuoso 2, Virtuoso 3 and Virtuoso 4, and I thought, this guy has got the balls to call himself Virtuoso. These have got to be good. So I went down to a specialist jazz CD shop, because that's a thing, that used to be a thing, and I ordered myself a copy of Virtuoso 1, 2, 3 and 4. They turned up, and yeah, Virtuoso 2 was my favorite. That one came in first. My favourite jazz guitar album, because it's solo guitar. It's just guitar. I didn't really need to clarify what solo guitar meant, I'm sure. But yeah, for someone that lived...
I thought there'd be a piano there as well.
On their own, had no one to play guitar with. It was inspiring to hear someone play on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Virtuoso No. 2 is my favourite because Virtuoso No. 1 tends to be the one that people go to, but it wasn't recorded properly. The mic on the amp failed or something, so they just used the mic that was on the guitar. So the tone of it is like, it just has a very different sound.
Did you post a video about this recently, talking about how does he get that tone on
that
fucking
was on
album?
Virtuoso 4.
Right. I knew I seen something about you talking about Joe Pass recently.
Yeah. Because that's the reason I always give people the Virtuoso 2 is better, because they've recorded it properly. You can actually hear the amplifier. And, it doesn't sound exceptional. It's just a solo guitar, but at least you can actually hear the amplified guitar. It's got some great standards on there that if you're getting into jazz, this is a great way to get you into some of the vocabulary. Misty is on there. Joy Spring is on there, which is a nice one. Limehouse Blues is on there. 500 Miles High is on there. There's also, he plays Giant Steps on there, which tends to be one of those go-to, cock measure in jazz pieces. Can you play Giant Steps kind of thing? And he plays Giant Steps.
Can you play We Prefer the Term Living Impaired by Party Cannon? That would be my response.
Yeah. So rather than doing giant steps the way people expect you to play giant steps, which is 250 BPM, 2 chords per bar, he just does a bossa nova version of it, which is
enough.
Yeah, just a big kind of fuck you to that kind of whole idea. So yeah,
I suppose that's the good thing, because even the idea of a jazz standard is somewhat of a fucking oxymoron, isn't it? Really.
I think if
the true art of jazz is improvisation, then having a standard doesn't really make sense for it. But that's quite good that someone's basically went in the face of that.
Yeah,
there's my version. So
yeah. So there are a couple of originals on there. There's 2 blues tunes on there, and actually I should have mentioned this at the start. The reason this album jumped into my mind is because after doing that video with Jens, I then featured this album on my Patreon page this month. So I'm transcribing a bunch of it, and those guys, my Patreon patrons, are transcribing a bunch of it too. We're doing 3 of the tracks on it. The 2 blues tunes, Blues for Bassy and Blues for PC. Is it Blues for PC? I've not done that one yet. They're both great and lots to learn from those. And Joy Spring, because it's in time. All of the other ones, he pushes and pulls with the time and bar lengths and stuff like that.
I like that stuff.
These have a good sense of pulse, so they're easier to transcribe.
Yes.
So yeah, if anyone wants to check out some of the transcription side of things to these, head on over to patreon.com/Levi Clay, plug. But yeah, Joe Pass Virtuoso number 2. Still all these years on, he's not the cleanest. He's not the fastest. I don't like using terms like best, but let's use it anyway. He's not the best, but he's got everything you need, the raw, ballsy attitude to go with someone that would title their own album Virtuoso.
I like it. That sounds good.
It's like a jazz man being a punk, and I like that.
That's cool. The way you sold it was good. I like the mentality of him basically being like, are you discovering it and going, this man must have gargantuan gonads to go 4 albums calling himself Virtuoso.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
cool.
There are some other like Virtuoso Live in New York and Virtuoso Live, which again they're basically the same thing, because the Virtuoso Live album, the Virtuoso studio albums, they're all just him sat in front of a microphone and just playing anyway. It's not edited, it's just a live take. So
sorry to interrupt. I just looked him up on a fucking Google Play there. 96 albums.
Oh yeah. I remember Charlie Parker's a great album. As well. Like, Joe's got a ton of great vocabulary. I tend to lean a lot more towards the solo guitar stuff. So I remember Charlie Parker.
Funny you mentioned Charlie Parker, and I've been talking about Party Cannon. Chris once told me that one of Party Cannon's I wouldn't say most popular riffs, but one of the first ones I learned was based on a Charlie Parker like chord line progression.
Chris has good taste.
Chris is incredibly well versed as a musician.
Musically diverse, yeah.
And still, this is what he pursues. Chris, I know you're listening. You listen to every episode. You are a silly man.
Chris, you bloody lunatic. Wear some shoes. It's always my go-to. Wear some shoes. No, you do you. You do you, sir. Cool. So that's really all I have for Virtuoso number 2. Check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And I will be listening to Job for a Cowboy, Sun Eater.
It's not their most recent album. It's definitely not their earliest. But I think you'll enjoy it. I think genuinely you'll hear some of the guitar and you'll go, aye, all right. I mean, Jeff Loomis has got a guest solo on the album.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, the riffs go from being obviously Job for a Cowboy riffs to like I think Jeff Loomis probably wrote the rhythm part for his own solo bit, because you'll hear it and go, it's Jeff Loomis. But the guitar on it is fucking silly.
Sweet. Well, thank you everybody for listening. If you have managed to stay with us almost 2 hours on, I'll probably split this in half on YouTube, but just upload it as its full entity on SoundCloud. So if you're listening to this as a podcast, then you will have enjoyed 2 hours of us talking.
Endured.
Yeah, we would appreciate reviews, we would appreciate shares and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Tell everyone all about us. If you're watching it on YouTube, then this is probably the second time you've had to put up with our faces in the last week. I apologise for that, but don't worry, we'll leave it a little bit longer until we see you again. Thank you very much, everybody. Please subscribe, and like I say, tell your friends, tell your enemies. Any closing thoughts, Mike?
Give us some feedback on whether you'd maybe like some merchandise. I think that maybe be a silly idea. Throw it out there, but can you imagine people wearing our faces on their t-shirts?
I dream about it, mate. I've dreamed about it for years.
I mean, you do kick about with your own name on your t-shirt.
Yeah, well, I've never told this story. I'll just throw it in as like a short little 10-second thing. I did have some Levi Clay shirts made up with my logo on, and I think I had 5 of them made, and I sent some out to Tom Quayle and some other friends. And they've never worn them on camera, so
He's calling you out. He's calling you out.
Motherfuckers. The amount I talk about you guys.
That's not the story you're going to tell.
That was the story.
Is that the story?
Sorry.
Because there's better stories about you wearing your own t-shirts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course. It's me.
We'll leave it at that, though.
Of course I'm going to wear my own t-shirts. I'm sure I've told the story of meeting my in-laws for the first time wearing a shirt with my own name on it.
Just in case you forgot who he was.
Yeah. I just wanted to set the tone, you know. I'm kind of a big deal in my own head. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, bye, fuckers.